Okay, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, caps and robbers, stormtroopers, clone troopers, rebels, and Confederacy members of the internet? This is Devin with the Gaming in Progress, and today we're here to talk about Star Wars Battlefront. Now I've been trying to figure out how I want to handle this subject for a little while, kind of partially because I'm not really sure where I stand on all this. As you guys know, very recently, EA finally put out their their first cinematic trailer for Star Wars Battlefront. They announced its release date. People got to see actual gameplay footage behind closed doors, but there's still not a lot of information we have. Some things have been confirmed, supposedly, then unconfirmed, and there's a whole lot of stuff going around. So, what we really know so far is the game looks and sounds very well. Beyond that, I'm kind of skeptical about everything else, because what we're supposedly being presented with is a game that is lesser of a game than its predecessor, which was Star Wars Battlefront 2, which was released in 2005, and to this date is probably one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm sure it was a lot of people's as well. So what we supposedly have is a game that has no single player. It would have missions instead, much like Titanfall. There'd be no galactic conquest, which I'm pretty sure was a pretty popular mode in Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 games. I'm not sure about the handhelds, it may not have been as popular in those. The max player count would be capped at 40 on all platforms. We don't have any confirmation if there'd be bots as well or not. Supposedly also we'd have no space battles or fighting in orbit, and air units would be confined to above ground maps, much like in Battlefield, or in the area above maps, my bad. The game would launch with only 4 playable planets, 5 I think if you count the pre-order planet. Only units and characters from the original trilogy, which means no Clone Wars era stuff. That right there would be probably enough to get me not to buy the game, in combination with the space battle stuff. I feel like the Clone Wars era stuff and the space battle stuff are two of the biggest things. Simply because in the Clone Wars was an important era as well. I actually liked, maybe not so much movie-wise, but like timeline-wise, I think the Clone Wars era was more interesting to me. I thought the clone troopers were always more interesting than the stormtroopers and stuff. I don't know. I may be alone in this. I may just be crazy. I'm crazy, probably. But definitely the space battle stuff. We can all agree that space battles are pretty much a must in a Star Wars game, especially a Star Wars Battlefront game. And I expect more space battle interaction in this new Battlefront than in Battlefront 2. I want the ability to transition from ground to space, vice versa. I want to have atmospheric battles. I want the ability to fucking pilot a cruiser into another cruiser if need be. Because I want all that. That was one of the things I really wanted in Battlefront 2, was the ability to kind of control where the capital ships were moving. I thought that would have been a really neat aspect, or at least like pilot a frigate into another frigate, or some stuff like that. The stuff you've always wanted to do, and you know you've always wanted to do it. You've always wanted to like crash a capital ship into another capital ship and have fighter battles going on while that's happening and stuff like that. And another thing that's supposedly being said is the AT-AT walkers that were shown in the trailer would not be player controlled, but would just follow a scripted path across the battlefield. And if that ends up being true, It's gonna be really disappointing. Um, Simply for the fact that, again, just as space vehicles and space battles are a really key feature in the game, I feel like the land vehicles are important too. I mean, AT-ATs, AT-STs, ATTEs, the back to tank, not the back to tanks. I forget the different names for the tanks and stuff. It's been so long since it's been a while since I played Battlefront 2. The last time I played was on the video me and Ogre did on this channel, where we did our little versus stuff on Hoth and a couple of the planets. But all the ground vehicles and being able to fly the ships in the ground map area obviously would be neat as well. But I want the ability, of course, to go into space and come back down into space. What I think would be really neat is if we had like a planetary assault, where like you start in space and the space battle, and then you have to like take the drop ships and stuff. The Republic, they were originally Republic drop ships, and then they became the Rebel drop ships from Battlefront 2. If you remember, they transitioned from Republic drop ships to Rebel drop ships. But basically, the ability to take those drop ships and those frigates and stuff, and you would have to go down onto the surface and secure an outpost and secure like a forward base for for whichever faction was invading that planet. And then you'd land your drop ships, you'd secure that base, and then you'd have like spawn points on the ground in addition to spawn points in space. I think that would be something that would be really neat and really awesome. And if I remember, maybe I think one of the Vita games or one of the PSP games had something like that. It's been even longer since I played those, since I played Battlefront 2. That was one of the main reasons I got like a PSP, because I had one for Crisis Core, and then I got rid of it, and then I found out about those games, so I got another one, and yeah. But anyway, as you guys can see in the background right now, I'm just kind of looping the trailer a bit as I go on, so you guys have something to watch. I'm sure there are people out there who haven't seen the cinematic trailer. So, I mean, we don't really know a lot about the game yet, and that already has like a November release date. If they're smart, they're gonna roll out a lot of stuff. If they're really smart, all this stuff that's been speculated, they're gonna show stuff that dismisses this stuff. Because the only way all of this stuff could be stupid is if DICE completely ignored everything about Battlefront 2 that everybody loved. And they can claim, oh, we went back and we played the games and we're big Star Wars fans and stuff. Okay, well, if that's true, then all these rumors and stuff that's going around, you guys cannot be stupid enough to allow. We want massive battles. We want as much control and free reign as possible. We don't want scripted AIs. We don't want ships that are just airstrikes or whatever. We want full control. We want to work together and coordinate our battles in massive scales, much in the way that happens on PlanetSide 2. And if PlanetSide 2 can do it, fucking Star Wars Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront can do it. I don't know why you guys aren't calling it Battlefront 3, but for the love of God, EA, do not screw this game up, because I swear to God, if you do, I don't even know, but the backlash you guys will get will be horrible, and I will be heading the charge on that fucking backlash, because I am so close to being done with your fucking shit. I mean, there are things I like about Hardline, but there are other aspects that make me want to punch babies in the face, to quote Markiplier. I am baby punching mad, and if you guys screw up Battlefront, I will go there. I will run through a nursery and punch babies in the face. No, I won't really do that, but I will be very mad. And as somebody who is a Battlefront fan and a Star Wars fan, and I don't want to have to be mad. I want to get this amazing game that looks good, that sounds good, that has good gunplay, and has all the features, at the very least, that fucking Battlefront 2 had. Do you think you guys can do that? Do you think you guys can at least put as much into the game as Battlefront 2 had? So anyway, that's really what we want as a player base. We don't know a lot. We're waiting for you guys to tell us some more. But we want all the features from Battlefront 2. We want improvements, and I don't think that's too much to ask. I mean, the game, from what we've seen of the game engine and from what people have seen from the actual gameplay, it supposedly looks pretty much like the game engine, and that's fine. The tech demo, or whatever you want to call it, the trailer that's playing right now, looks good, and if that's how the actual game looks, that's fine. But you gotta give us the space battles and the ability to go from space, and even maybe do the planetary invasion thing that I just talked about. That would be a really great addition to the game, and I think it would work really well. If anybody at fucking EA is watching this, please go over that. Look at this. Say, can we make this planetary assault thing happen? Because I think that would be neat. If you guys made it as an add-on for Galactic Conquest, and please fucking put Galactic Conquest on. Put Galactic Conquest online as well. Do like a Helldivers thing where players like invade different planets, and every group of players or whatever that invades it adds up, and something like that. It would just, there's so much you can do with a game like this. It has so much potential. So put the stuff in that the previous games had as a base, and then build on top of that, and continue the legacy of the Star Wars Battlefront games, because they were great games, and they're still great games now, and they've retained their worth. Everything that was great about them back in 2005 is still great about them now. So take those games, make them a base for this if you haven't already, and then just build off that. It's easy. You just fucking take the base elements of those games, you add them into this, or you make sure they're there already, and then you just build new stuff off of that, new mechanics and stuff, like the shields that the Rebels have. That's pretty neat. The Rebels have the Droideka style shields now. I forget what the hell what their official name is, but their nickname was Droidekas, or maybe that was their official name. There were so many goofy names for the robots created by the clone troopers, clankers, and all that shit. I mean, it made sense, but yeah, anyway, but yeah, just do that, okay? Because I don't want to have to be mad at DICE. And I'm not even going to end up probably being mad at DICE. It's going to end up being DICE wanted to do all this. EA said, no, let's just shove this in their fucking face. So just don't fuck up this franchise before you even get it off the ground, okay? Just make it good, and do what they did with Battlefront 2, and build onto that. If there's anything you guys think, I want to know you guys' thoughts as viewers, as always. What do you guys think is going to end up happening with this game? Do you think that that's going to be good? Are you hyped for it? Do you think that they're gonna fuck it up? And what features do you guys think are gonna be in this game? And what features would you like to see in this game as well? Would you like something like a planetary conquest mode? Would you like it to be more just ground-oriented? Do you think that it should be continuing on the roots of the previous Battlefront games? Let me know in the comments section below. Share this video with your friends, with your fellow Battlefront fans, with your fellow DICE fans, your family, stuff like that. And if you're new here, subscribe. It will really help the channel, and you guys will be kept up to date on all the stuff that's happening here at Gaming in Progress. And I'm gonna be doing more. I'm gonna be covering more of this and Deus Ex: Mankind Divided as we get more information on those games. Deus Ex so far hasn't given me any reason to be deterred from that. It looks really good so far. The previous game, Deus Ex Human Revolution, was great. Elias Tufexis is coming back as the voice of Adam Jensen. Elias, if you're watching this, you're a great actor. I loved your work as Adam, and your stuff on Supernatural was awesome too. I'm trying to be excited for Battlefront, and I hope, and I pray, and praying isn't something I don't usually, but I just want Battlefront to be good, because I've missed Battlefront for so long. And yeah, I can go back and play the old games, but it's not the same as being able to sit on my PlayStation 4 and play the new Battlefront. And I hope it's as good as the old ones, if not better. So anyway, this is Devin with Gaming in Progress, and I will see you guys next time.